All right, hello. Before I start, sorry, this is a shameless plug, number one. Two, I am sick, so I sound congested and I'm getting over it, but I'm feeling better and I just wanted to let you know that out of the gate. Okay, so today I actually released the most recent update to Rails UI. If you are a subscriber to this channel, which is probably being posted on my WebCrunch blog, there's been a lapse of content, and I apologize for that. But it's honestly because I've been working on this thing as much as possible, and I've always been told to just put priority in the thing you feel has the most oomph. And the blog, I'm not abandoning by any means. I'm going to keep it going, but it is slowing down for that fact. Just so you know. So cut the chit chat. The updates, if you were to go to the website, it's railsui.com, and the updates itself, the most recent one is what actually occurred this time around. Wow, my internet's slow. Essentially, there were two themes that I shipped with Rails UI. If you're not familiar, Rails UI is a solution for Rails that is theme-based. So think of it as professionally designed UI components and templates made exclusively for Rails. So they're integrated into the framework itself, as opposed to just being something you might copy and paste from elsewhere. And these actually do come with JavaScript and stuff too. So that's kind of the thing I'm kind of honing in on. There's little niceties added too alongside the themes, like helpers that you might use in your Rails views and form helpers and all that jazz. And then I also approach it by allowing you to choose Bootstrap or Tailwind at this time. So that's the initial what is Rails UI. If you've been following along, I appreciate you doing that. I am at Twitter Rails UI _ over there. If you want to check out more day-to-day stuff, I post there mostly because it's easy to do, and it's just kind of a place where I think other Rails developers are at the moment. If you're not there, go check it out. No big deal if not. But I will probably post more about what's happening day to day there. Anyway, this update is a progression of the initial two themes I launched Rails UI with a few months back. It's taken me a while to get these two complete, but you can think of them as a couple of marketing templates, but also an entire admin area where you could have customized concepts for your admin UI, whether it's like a dashboard, project management, messaging, all those kinds of things. And no two theme is alike essentially, but the idea is that there are some core user experience problems and design challenges that come with any SaaS-based app, and that's kind of who I'm targeting with these. Most Rails devs, I would say, work on Rails apps that are SaaS-based, which means software as a service. So you're kind of like buying in a monthly stint or yearly or whatever, and that is just the concept I'm having in mind when I'm designing this. That will change, of course, so I can adapt to more markets as more themes come into play. But as I've discovered, themes took quite a while to get off the ground. So my initial thought when I launched this originally, the alpha version, which it still is an alpha, was to include 4 themes, 2 for Bootstrap and 2 for Tailwind, but I only ended up doing 1 of each, and they were incomplete. And honestly, they're always going to be incomplete, which I go into more detail in this blog post if you were to check it out. The idea is to giving you a really good head start into adding these specific pages you might need into your app, or pages you could take and run with. You could change, copy the data, all that stuff. It's there for your disposal, but it's just the UI. So a lot of people think this is kind of a Rails template, like Jumpstart or something else out there. What's the one with the train, bullet train? Not that. This is more of the UI design heavy solution as opposed to the logic, because I don't like that being, personally, I don't like the logic being like zeroed in for me. Yes, there are niceties in that, but not every app needs so much stuff under the hood. So it's just kind of one of those preference things. Anyway, the coolest thing I feel like I added in this update, besides the themes, were the ability to add and remove pages with a click. So if you're familiar with a Rails gem at all, this is literally a gem/engine that bolts to your new Rails app. So this is geared towards new apps. So when you make a new app, you would add Rails UI, you do its installer, and then you go and install like your CSS framework of choice. And then from there, you can pick your theme. And that theme's kind of the foundation of what your design system might look like. And I'll show you what I mean by a design system in a second. But that in the end gives you access to pages I've added. So specific ideas, pages, concepts you might need, and you're given app just an idea to use if you wanted to, but you can add and remove those at will. So that's the cool thing. Instead of just like getting a huge zip file or something and then having to go find the HTML snippet, or maybe it's in some crazy React version or something, you have to copy that over, deconstruct HTML. No, all that's done. So that's the cool thing. And I think the value I'm trying to, present to you. I wrote about it here, but I actually started a couple other little projects on the side. And along with doing that, I used Rails UIs like to dog food it. And honestly, it saves so much freaking time. And I couldn't believe it, to be honest. Like when you have to like reinvent the wheel with Devise, installing the user authentication views, all that stuff, it just gets old. And then to be able to choose how that looks is also kind of neat. So as themes progress, there'll be so many more options I hope to, contribute and add to the mix. So that's where we're headed next. So I just wanted to mention it in a quick video because I know I've been pretty quiet lately. You can go check out this blog post at railsui.com/updates. There should be like a thread of everything there. If you're not subscribed, I would get on the email list. That's going to be where you're going to see, hear about these things first, besides Twitter, of course, because it's more real time. But let me show you just kind of what I mean about a new update. So right now, I have 2 servers. This is a local version, but it's pretty much what's live. I have two running locally at 400 and 300. I think 300 is going to be our Bootstrap version, which is installed. And then 4 is going to be our Tailwind. So here's how it looks with everything installed. If you installed every page, this is the UI at the moment. You can go and actually remove a page if you want. So I'll go ahead and do that. It does do this kind of like, oh my gosh, my app died thing. I got to figure it out. But it's essentially rebooting the app on your behalf once this takes place. And then you'll see that page is no longer active. But you can go ahead and click it there and hit save, and it'll go ahead and reinstall it on the back end. So if you wanted to check out your logs, it's all happening over here, what's going on. But that's pretty cool to me. And then you can go click and it'll go straight to that view. This is literally the Rails app. So if you haven't, there is going to be in that blog post, if you haven't read, demo links to this. But the real, I guess, look and feel of it is going to be best done from the gem itself. The previews are preview builds. So they're essentially static HTML that's been built and manipulated a bit with some JavaScript to do that and ship it real fast and easy. I talk about that in the blog post too. So, but yeah, this is the Tailwind version. It's called Hound. A lot of stuff here, dashboard, projects, all this JavaScript and stuff is included. I did recently do this real crazy, I want to show you this drop down thing. It's a user drop down. Looks simple, right? Not at all. So it's tabbable, all these things. Getting that to work was a chore, but it was, I just was like, I wanted this to be custom. I didn't want it to be a crazy one. Because getting you can't use, avatars in a regular select field. It doesn't work, if you've ever tried to do that. So that's just something I built that was one-off, but it's all built with Stimulus.js and Rails and some other nooks and crannies. Haven't gotten crazy into the Hotwire side yet, but it is coming. So I hope to, go down that path. But I'll show you the Bootstrap version real quick. We could look at maybe the dashboard. A little more Bootstrap if you're used to Bootstrap. Pretty much vanilla for the first theme with some tweaks, So nothing too crazy here, but also just pretty standard. I think when I added the first 2 themes, I wanted to make one that's like very, very base baseline. So I think I'm going to add that one next as more of a what's going to be like the actual default theme. So if you choose nothing but just the framework, it's going to look good still. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, you don't have to go and install these pages at all, which is kind of the idea. So favorite little thing that I made that was fun with the UI, I'll go over to the Tailwind one. It's silly, but it's in the billing area, and then down I made this cool looking credit card. So little design details like that I get a kick out of. So sorry if I'm nerding on that. Make a quick video. I'm sorry if it went long. Would love to know your feedback. I feel like I've talked about this, but there's a little launcher in your local development now that I add. That's the R of the Rails logo, Rails UI logo. So you can always get to your start page quick and easy, all this stuff. So when you boot up the app, you'll actually see this page first until you change it in your own routes. So that's something to think of. Anyway, yeah, up next is more themes. So I'll be busy doing that. And then I'm going to try to get some content going on the blog again and the channel here. So I apologize again for that being lapsed, but you'll hear from me soon. All right. Peace.